You guys. Welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander, and today I wanted to get into this story. I thought the story was pretty interesting. We talked about it briefly yesterday, so now I want to kind of like sink our teeth into it because I think it's going to I think there's going to be one second, you guys. I think there's going to be a lot of importance going on in this story, and the story is kind of unusual. So I wanted to get into the story because, yeah, it's interesting. You're probably wondering what this is. We're going to get into that in a minute. First, let's see who's all up in the building. Hello, you guys. Hello, and hello. Let's see. Wow, it's a lot of you in the building. Okay, so let's see who's all in the building. I guess from the top, right? Hello, Sassy Brown. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Rashida. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Unicorn and Dimples. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Quinta. Hello, Sheree. Hello, C. Brooks. Hello, that girl, Chris. Hello, Lollipop. Hello, BB. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Courtney. Hello, Lee. Hello, Lady Lovelace. Hello, BMO. Hello, E. Ortiz. Hello, AC. Hello, Queen Shell. Hello, Cami. Hello, Amber. Wow, it's a lot of you. Okay, let me try to get to the center. Hello, Miss Prince. Hello, Lottie T. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Meek. Hello, Trina. Oh, all the way from Facebook. Hello, Loretta. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Danny. Hello, Denise. Is that two Denises? Wow. Hello, Denise. Not two of y'all. Okay. Not two of y'all side by side. Y'all must have knew each other was coming in the building. So hello, everyone. Hello, Kat. Hello, Vonda. Kat Von, like Kat Von D. Hello, Anisha. Hello. Is it Sarita? Hello, Sarita. Hello, Lakisa. Hello, Kelly. So I want to get into this story because it's interesting. Now, we talked about the story yesterday, right? The story is, if you weren't here yesterday for the Sunday service, I'm going to play the video for you again, and then you tell me what you think about this story. It is interesting, and we got some tips in. Obviously, these tips are anonymous, so we did get a ton of anonymous tips in about this story today. So I want to share my screen with you here, and then that other graphic, we're going to get into that in a minute. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys here, and then we're going to rewatch this video, and then we're going to get into the details of the tea that I found because it's rather interesting and it's good news, right? So we always want real good news all the time, okay? Does that make sense? So we want real good news all of the time. So the story is about a child by the name of Vallen, who had I hate to say the D word, but he met his poor demise, in February. And here is a video of his mother, and she's going to give you kind of like the baseline details of what happened. And then we're going to get further in with the tips that I got from you guys, the nosy bystanders. Okay. So I'm going to play the video. Do you guys have anything to say before we get started? Hold on one second. Y'all got anything to say? Because I'm only going to ask once. No? Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and play this video for you now, okay? I have to mute myself.
Help me find justice for my 3-year-old who was murdered. He did not deserve this at all. This was the last photo I took of him. And on July 18th of 2022, I had got a call from his father saying that I'm sorry. I was so confused and I did not know what was going on until I got talked to the doctors. And they said that my son was in critical condition and they've been performing CPR for 2 hours. Now, at first I asked his father what happened. His father said he choked on cereal. But when the autopsy came back, they said there was no signs of choking. But my son died from a recent brain bleed. And when I went into that hospital, his chin was missing. His chin was missing. He had a bruise on his head and a nice little scar on his eye. And I was wondering, Lord, his chin was missing. He had a nice little bruise on his eye. All types of shit. I'm not going to go too much into detail with that. But my problem is now it's almost December. And the officers and the officers and the investigators are telling me, oh, we have no update. All I'm asking is, can somebody, anybody, like, comment, share, repost, anything to get this word out? Because this shouldn't happen to him or any other child. I was going to court for over a year telling the judge, hey, my son's coming home with bruises. Hey, my son's coming home and he's not acting the same. The judge told me boys will be boys. Boys will be boys is the reason my son is not here today. Remember his name, Vallen Talavaris. Don't let him be forgotten. There's a new law in Illinois coming up where a lot of people are going to be released starting January 1st. And I have a big feeling or reason why this has not been figured out yet, because they're waiting for the year to pass to let this just sweep under the rug. And I'm not letting it go under the rug. I'm not being quiet about it no more. So never, ever forget the name Vallen. Justice for Vallen. Justice for my baby. Please, someone help me.
Okay, so that is her story, right? Kind of like sums it all up, right? Kind of like answers all your questions. So the story, again, quite tragic. So we got some tips in. I want to go over the tips with you guys. Let me get some of your questions, and then we're going to get to them. Now, the tips are also really good news, but I guess kind of somber news, right? When an investigation is occurring, you kind of don't know where it's going, and you kind of don't know what's going to happen. But rest assured, stuff. Ashley says, I hope you have some type of update on this case. I do. I sure was that nosy bystander that did a research and couldn't find anything. Woo child sadness. Yeah, because it deals with a child. And typically when these type of stories deal with children, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get any information out of it. So you're going to really have to rely on your good sleuthing tips, right, to get it done. You do. This is from Renee. Yes, Renee, great question. Says, what's the background on her father? Now, let's get into that. So let me stop sharing my screen and share my other screen. So I pulled a background check, right? It's free for us. I pulled the background check of the father. I only found basic traffic tickets. Those are minor misdemeanors, right? Those are like spoken in public, all those things. So those were just minor. And don't worry, I pulled them all open to see what they were. None of them were heinous. Okay. I pulled them in both counties. I pulled them in Will County, and I also pulled them in Kendall County. Let me pull up the Kendall County one as well. Now this is a matter of public record. And this is for educational purposes only. So I just want y'all to know that this is a matter of public record, educational purposes only. Don't come for us. Okay. So I pulled up the other one. This one here too. This is a restraining order. Now, this was taken out on October 2021. It's active and open. So I don't know who it's against, because they're not going to list the victim's name. So I don't know who it's against, but child, he got one out in his name. And this was because he violated that order. So that's the most I could find about his background. I could not find if he was currently incarcerated. I don't know. I actually have no idea. I checked the jail. I checked the prison system in all of Illinois. I couldn't find nothing. Okay. So if he is, they hide him real well, but I couldn't find anything for any county jail that he would be in. But I did get an update on the case. So while digging into the mom's case, a nosy tipster, anonymous tipster, gave me a little bit of information on his case. So I'm not going to pull up the correspondence. So you're just going to have to believe me on this one. Okay. And don't worry, I triple checked it. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone so I can read it to you. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Actually, I can pull it up. I will just copy and paste it so I can keep it private. Hold on one second. Hold on. Where is it at? Here it is. Okay. Okay, here it is. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to just redact this. I'm just going to redact this here. That's just a blank name. You don't need to know that. Okay, here we go. All right, let me share my screen. So I just redacted some stuffs. Actually, no, I can't share that yet. Hold on. Let me redact some other stuff. Like, gosh, Steph, you redact anything else? I got to, y'all. Under condition of anonymity. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. Now we're cooking with grease. Okay. These are my notes, but I don't want you to see all my notes because y'all we be digging into stuff. Okay. So here are my notes, and here's what the notes that were taken from this tip. Hold on one second. Okay. There we go. Now let's share the tip. Okay, perfect. So it says the case is pending, still under investigation, open under Vallen, under his father's last name. His dad's name is Miles, and he tried to unalive himself in the apartment after Vallen's death. The dad did. It's part of the report. It also says the father stated that between 7:14 and 7:25, Valens fell at the park. Miles, and I redacted her name, is investigated as well. The girlfriend is being investigated as well. It says that she was in the home, call 911 saying that they were choking on cereal. Girlfriend said her son and Vallen had COVID, and both of them threw up that morning. Good Samaritan Hospitals where Valens was taken. We know that part. It says last case note says on November 23rd, the case is still open. DCFS is having trouble getting in contact with the family, and the kids were removed and put into foster care. Interesting. Interesting. So the case is open. So that's good news, right? It's slow. Now, Kim said that Kim is the mom of the child that passed away. Kim said that she was worried that there was going to be a new law coming out in December that could stop her from getting justice. And I wonder if that means that her baby's father is in jail, and he might get out because the case is still being investigated, and he might be able to get out on good behavior. But here's the thing, even if he does get out and he is charged with her son's untimely death, he goes back into jail. So it doesn't even matter if he does get out, but maybe she's afraid that he's going to flee or run, or do you understand what I mean? Like maybe she's afraid that he's going to or take his life, because it said in that report he could take his life. Or he attempted to in July. So what if he does? And then she feels like, oh, dang. That's what I'm worried about. Like that she's worried about that he could flee, or he could run, or he could, anything. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Let me hear from you guys. Let me get to your thing. This one actually says, so it was an accident so far. At least that's what it looks like. Great news is still open. Thank God. I know I was worried too. I was worried when I got that tip. I was like, they're gonna close this case, but it's not. Because the heinous nature of how the child died, it has to be open, right? She does not. And I think that report meant that the boyfriend's girlfriend at the time had children, and those children may have been taken from the home. What's up, Sakithia? I didn't even notice that was you. What's up, Sakithia? I didn't even notice it because you're on Facebook. I'm sorry, I was looking on the YouTube side. This is from Talavaris says, I used to work for CPS. They not taking kids unless there's evidence of significant harm or neglect. Do you think that? Yeah, right? Because a child died with heinous injuries. This from YNV. And YNV says, it just seems very odd how Kim relayed the story. Not that I don't believe her, but as graphic as she described the injuries, were CPS or the cops while in the hospital. Yes, they were. That was the notes that I have, right? They're not going to be from my email. I'm not going to show you my email address, God forbid. But the notes that I had just typed up in there, those are the notes from a tipster. I'm not going to tell you from where, but those are notes from a tipster, and they're accurate. This one, Christina. Christina says the girlfriend and the dad beat the baby, possibly. Possibly. I do see her getting justice. I just feel like she should have gotten it. If her child died in February, why is the case still open in November? Why have there been no I wonder if it has to do with the autopsy report, right? Follow me. Okay, so you know how we talk about Shanquilla Robinson's case, right? And how people were like, "Oh, she's not the coroner has not the coroner has not changed his report, so therefore they can't launch an investigation, right? What if it's the same thing here? What if they're waiting on the coroner to change his report? Because the case is open and under CPS, right? But the coroner's report isn't matching. Maybe CPS is waiting for the coroner. That's just my hypothesis. I haven't pulled his autopsy report yet. But what if that is the case? Do you see what I mean? February, he passed away. So I was looking at his obituary, the baby's obituary. It said February. Or was that his birthday? No, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure that I'll pull it for you now because I might be mistaken. Let me pull it up. July. I apologize. July 18th is when he passed away. So thank you for correcting me, Tatey Boo. July. So if he passed away in July, what's taking so long? Like I understand investigations take long, but good God Almighty, you know? This is in the city of Joliet, Illinois. This is from Hello Reese says, but then again, I've had cases of heinous children abuse that the media didn't publicize because it would have significantly tainted jury pool public opinion overall cases. That's true. That is true. That is true. You said, what about the mom? What about the mom? Renee, let us know. Let us know your prior question to asking what about the mom. This from AOP says, has she, the mother, been investigated for child neglect abuse? Does she have an accountability of this? Does she not have any accountability of this horror? No, because he wasn't in her care, right? So when he was according to the mother's story, okay, allegedly, there we go. Sprinkle some of that on top. According to the mother's story, he was with his dad when this occurred, and she got a call from the dad that said Vallen had fallen or Vallen had choked on cereal and he's in the hospital. That's according to the mom. Okay, so she wasn't there at the time. This from Eugenia. I hope I'm saying that right. Says CPS takes kids all the time in California, child, except for Gabriel Hernandez. Remember that case in California? They're gonna take every kid but him. No shade to CPS, but what do y'all be doing? If y'all like, it's like CPS has a horrible history of picking people to work there who despise children. CPS across the nation. CPS has the worst history of all time. It's like, oh, do you like children? You do? You cannot work for us. You have to loathe children. And the more you despise children, the higher you get ranked up, the more promotions you get. You have by the time you get to the tippity top of the bureaucratic levels at CPS, you at that point have probably done off a bunch of kids yourself, okay? Because you absolutely have to just brush all children and their best interest under the rug, okay? I'm just saying, because they got a terrible history. This one YMV says, I had a horrible experience with CPS when I was sheltered as a child for abuse. They gave the abuser my address. These people. This from Ashley. Ashley says, Steph, why they not doing background checks on CPS workers? Why not cycle workers out so they don't get burnt out? Like make changes. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a bureaucrat, and I don't pretend to be one. I have no idea what they be thinking. I have, child, because that's what got me thinking too, like you absolutely have to just dislike all children, as a whole. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but the case is very interesting. So what we do know, the case is open. It's being investigated. Apparently, the father tried to take his own life, allegedly, out of hurt and anger, guilt, if you will. I don't know. There were additional children in the house, not the mom's, because mom only sounded like she only seems like she has one child who was Vallen, and now she's pregnant again. Other children were removed from the home, allegedly, and that the case is still being investigated and open. So government does not care about these babies, honey. They do not, yada. They do not. This from Just Bougie says, I'm just assuming if you love children, your heart can't handle the job. That's actually a really great assumption. That's why most people don't apply for those jobs. Now that I think about that, because people who love children, they're like, I have a passion for this, right? But they're like, some of these cases could be too much, so they don't even attempt to apply for those jobs because they're just like, that's just too heartbreaking for me to even face. So then you got the degenerates applying for all those jobs. No, I'm just kidding. They're not degenerate, but 80% of them don't seem like they really care too much for kids. That's just my opinion. Now there's a 20% who do care. They actually care. They do. They're always the ones on the witness stand saying, hey, I was calling my boss for weeks telling him about these kids and what was going on in that house. And no one listened to me. And it's always that lonely social worker. It's always that lonely social worker who takes the brunt of everything that's going on. So that's kind of like the sad part about the entire thing, right? It's always just that one lonely social worker who has to get on the stand, and then as soon as they get off the stand, they're retaliated against at their place of employment. It's always like that. Like they always want to beat up the whistleblower, which is just crazy to me. And sad. It's crazy and it's sad that they always want to do that. It's ridiculous. Let me get some more of your comments. Is Valentine free? Presumably, I couldn't find any record of him being in jail. But again, I could have been digging wrong. So don't quote me on all of that. So don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. This from ALP says, as many people out here desperately wanting kids, and they have these people abusing and deleting them. Yeah, that's really sad. Courtney says, yeah, the system is broken, and it's very heartbreaking working in and around CPS. I used to be a counselor and had to step away from the profession because of the stress. I don't blame you. I couldn't do it. There's two places I'll never work, and I'll say never. There's never say never. Never. Hospital or for the state. In that regard of child protective services, never. You won't catch Stephanie Hall there. Absolutely not. It's just too, and I understand your sentiments, Courtney. It's too stressful. It's too stressful. Who even wants to be wrapped up in something like that? This is from Sherelle. Says, my church member works for CPS and she loves and cares for kids. She's the 20% that loves her job and kids she rescues need more of her. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. So every day I want to work a little bit on this case to make sure we get it out there. So for the time being, what we do know is that her case is slow to grow, but it is open. So thank God it's not closed. Okay. So you're hearing that from me. That is true. Her case is open. It is not closed. They are investigating her case, okay? And they're looking at everything. So that's the good news. I just want to give that good news update, right? That's the good news about her case, that the case is still open. This from Ashley. Thanks for the super chat. It says, support Black media so we can make a change. Please do. Support Black media that's accurate as well, right? So Roland Martin, he does a pretty incredible job at his level of accuracy. Me, myself, at least I do my best. And then there's just a ton other who do a really good job at delivering Black media. And I'm not talking about those salacious blogs like DJ Academics. DJ Academics is getting flamed on Twitter right now because there has been an argument between NBA YoungBoy as well as Bobby Shmurda. And And people are blaming DJ Academics for one, knowing them both personally, but propagating that their tussle that they're having across the internet. NBA Youngboy is just like kind of playing it off like, I'm not really into that. And he did a really good job. And I'll give NBA Youngboy that much. He did a really good job at kind of diffusing the situation as a whole. He kind of laughed it off and not in a menacing manner. He's just like, hey, dude, I have security. I want to be your friend. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? As someone should do. And people are going in on DJ Academics. I don't know if you guys caught this, but people are going in on DJ Academics. I cannot play the audio, honey, because it's nothing but F-bombs and N-words. But I encourage you to go pull it. I'll pull it up here on Twitter so you guys can see it. Kind of like see the argument. Hold on a second. I'll pull it up here on Twitter. I think it should be trending right now. Let me see my trending stuff. Offset is trending. Why Oprah trending? Okay. Erica Mena is trending. Hold on. Why is Metro Boomin trending? I don't even know. Okay. Yes. So if you guys want, let me share my screen with you here. Hold on one second. I found it. This is the reason why you don't support people like DJ Academics. He's not Black media. He's the reason why all of this is trending right now on Twitter. He's basically just instigating a situation between two young very rich Black men, and not doing his best to just kind of diffuse that. After everything that we had went through with Takeoff, it is a shame that people like DJ Academics propagate this type of language and this type of behavior. And the fact that NBA Youngboy kind of has to do it by himself, like he has to be the one to diffuse the whole situation by himself, I think is wrong. I don't think it's right. And I think that it says a lot about what type of Black media that we need to start supporting and standing behind and standing around. He's definitely not one of them. He's definitely not one of them. And a lot of people are kind of like pretty sick and tired of it. It's just I don't know. It's just a shame. It's a real shame. It's a shame. Let me get some of your comments here. This is Renetta said, you're something special. I do my best, Renetta. Thank you very much. This from Jacqueline says, did the mother make contact with you? She did not. I have not heard from the mother yet, but fingers crossed. So we'll still hear from her. Desiree says CPS is at my sister's all the time. Her kids call on her. Oh, wow. For taking their phones away. The last time police came to her home, she told her kids to leave the house if they're being threatened or abused. Oh, that's really sad. That's really sad. Sorry to hear that about your sister. This is from Hello Rose says, I used to work for the ERs and psychiatric emergency room. Child is draining. It sounds like it's draining, incredibly draining. This from Vinyl Hoochie says, DJ Academics is always yelling in women's faces. He's doing too much. I do not, and you guys already know this, I'm not a fan of DJ Academics, never have been. When I used to do my early internet troll days on Twitter, I used to run with the DJ Academic circle because he started off as an internet troll, and I used to do a whole lot of tweets and subtweeting with him back and forth. So I'm aware of the level of how he built his platform, and it's just not good. It's really a detriment to himself because it's just a detriment to himself. Yeah, it's sad. It really is. Let me get some more of your comments. This from Hazel, or I'm sorry, Renetta. Renetta says Hazel said her name tried to off her for insurance. Who? Jacqueline says Oprah's trending because Howard Stern's comments regarding her wealth. Oh, really? Because Oprah's too rich and it's kind of annoying. Also, she shouldn't really do much with her money. This is from let me take that back. I'm gonna walk that back now. We do have a television network and we host a lot of interviews with people from Oprah's network. So I'll take that back. If you guys didn't know that show, Bell Collective, one of our shows called Minute with Millie Chun, she actually hosts and interviews a lot of the cast members from a lot of shows on the OWN network. So let me walk that back. Okay. We love Oprah. Because if there's a clause in there one day is like you can't interview on the Nosy Bystander TV, I would be heartbroken. So let me walk that statement back. We love Oprah here at the Nosy Bystanders, and we love that all of her staff love to be interviewed by our best reality TV host, A Minute with Millie Johnson. Walk that back. Okay, try not to get her in any kind of trouble. This from Mia says, does the doctor and the nurse have to call CBS by law? Yeah, they're mandated reporters, so they have to. This from She Snow says, he's a clown real bad, real bad, real bad. He said now he's just he's always been. He's DJ Academics has never changed. He's been the same way since I found out about him, and that's in 2010, 2011. So he's always been like that, honey. This from P. P said, if there's a pending court case, we should be able to see that on this. No, you can't, because it's family court, which is sealed. So anytime it deals with a child, it's sealed until it gets picked up by the prosecutor and that one of the parents are charged. Now, when one of the parents get charged, then we're going to be able to see that in the district court or the clerk of courts or the superior county clerk of court. So we'll be able to see it. We got to wait for the charges to come first. That's why. If it's related to family, we're not going to see anything. So I want to make that clear. He said, what we got to see what he said. See what who said. Oh, okay. You want me to pull up Twitter? Y'all be making me do too much. Hold on. Okay, I gotta go back to trending. Happening. Okay. Here we go. Oh, here it is. I found it. Oh, wow. Stern continues and says, I make a good living and I'm having trouble watching Oprah. I go, wow, look what's going on over there. Her estate is unbelievable. When she goes shopping in her backyard because everything is growing back there. There's a farm back there. What did he say? Oh, here it is. It's from Variety. Oh, here's the quote. Howard Stern says she knows how to be rich. She kind of likes to show it off, which is something I'm not comfortable with. I don't think the people should show off their wealth. I just want you guys to know that that statement by Howard Stern has nothing to do with us. That comment was for other rich people and said, don't show the poor people your money. That's all he was saying. That message is not for us. That message is for the uber duper scrupulous wealthy, and it's for them. It's like, don't be showing the poor people our money. So that message wasn't for us. That message was for Oprah. So I don't know why everybody's reading into it. It wasn't for you. Do you have at least $100 million? If you do, then the message was for you. If you don't, he was talking to Oprah directly. He was also talking to other rich people. He wasn't talking to us. He said, now he's hating. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not hating at all. He's basically, listen, when people make statements, you have to first determine who is the statement for. That's it. Once you determine who the statement is for, it's really got nothing else to do with you. It got nothing to do with us. Okay. This is rich people. Okay. And this is from Margaret. Margaret says, if you got a yard, you can grow food. That's the secret. That's the secret. How is this woman in her own backyard showing off her wealth? I don't know if you're familiar with this, but in America, we have this thing called food deserts. We also have this thing in America called toxic soil. So most people's backyards, you can't just grow soil because depending on where it's at, if you're black or poor or not black, but if you're poor or low income, because it had nothing to do with being black. If you're poor or low income, you live outside the city limits, the boondocks, you're not going to be able to grow anything in your backyard, even if you do have backyard grass. Because it's full of toxic chemicals. Your neighborhood is zoned as industrial. So most of that stuff is toxic chemicals from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So showing people your beautifully well-trimmed backyard, and Oprah's not gardening, darn well she's got gardeners. Then you're showing it's a level of elitism. And it shouldn't be, because people should be able to grow in their backyard. But with the way that we live in the world, it's just, again, you guys, the message wasn't for us. The message is for rich people. Don't show them your wealth. That's all he was saying. That message ain't got nothing to do with us. And I don't care. If Oprah wants to listen to it, let her. But I'm not going to be a middle class poor middle class person telling Oprah what she can do with her billions. I don't even care. Again, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Oprah because a lot of her a lot of her show cast members interview on our network. So I'm not gonna say anything slanderous about Oprah. I'm simply gonna say I don't care. Okay, as soon as I get as rich as Oprah, then maybe that message will resonate with me. But it doesn't resonate with me because I'm not Oprah and I'm not rich. It's that simple. This is from Christina. Christina says, "This reminds me of other cases. They called saying it was one thing, but then when something gets something else, the girlfriend got 911 saving the baby and choking on cereal. Did they find anything about the cereal in the reports? No, I don't have any other portion of that report. I just have the cliff notes. We're not going to know the details of it unless they charge the baby father and the girlfriend whose name I redacted. Unless they charge the baby father and the girlfriend, we're not going to know none of the details. So I don't got none of those details. And yes, I totally understand. This Aaron Brockovich's clients were living in horrible conditions out in the boonies. Exactly. This is from Dion. Dion said, "That's why I grow veggies in pots." This is from YNV says, "Even though she been rich for decades now, I was watching Oprah in middle school. It's definitely rich people shade. It is. It's definitely rich people shade. It's got nothing to do with us. I don't want to even have a conversation about this because this is two rich people. And the fact that they keep bringing it to us, leave us alone. We don't care. We don't care how rich Oprah is." So, in other news, today, this is the only news I got for you guys. Today I have been perusing the state prosecutor's website today because I'm trying to wait for updates on Shanquilla Robinson's case. So I went here. This is their county website. I'm just giving you guys the updates of Monday. Here's their nation's website, and here's where you can get all the press briefings. So this one was published today, but it had nothing to do with Shanquilla. And there was 10 of these published today, but none of them from the proper region. So, and none of these have anything to do with her. So every single day they put out press conferences. We're basically just waiting to get any of the updates. Also, in tandem, I also update their Facebook page to see if there's any updates. Now, they do post on their Facebook page quite regularly, and we check that. And then for the last page here, I also updated to check to see if they have issued out that red notice for Shanquilla or for Dejanay or any one of them, right? Because again, Dejanay, it's safe to assume that red alert is for Dejanay, but granted, it could be for anyone. So I've checked it, updated, nothing here. Those are the updates of Shanquilla Robinson. There is no warrant released yet, at least no copy of it. I don't have a copy of it. So yeah, we're just kind of sitting around waiting around until it gets published. That's what I'm really waiting for. I'm just waiting for it to be published so we can go over the details, honey. Because the details gonna be salacious. The details gonna be salacious. And this one I'm trying to pivot in so we can talk about more about the news, which we have to do because we're a news source. Now, again, we're not the Shade Room, so we're not pumping out 500 stories a day, but we do get to all the stories. We're going to keep close tabs on the Vallen story, probably not tomorrow because now that we got this nice update, his case is open. It is being investigated. Whoop-de-whoop, blase skip, boom. Okay, we know about that. Shanquilla Robinson's case, we're going to hold on to that. And we're still getting updates for that. And here it is. We're at the this is their nation's State Department, Foreign Affairs Department. And I just read these. I read these press briefings every day just so you guys can see that we read them every day to see if they were going to release any about Shanquilla, as well as the details of that warrant. So I check all of these systems literally like religion on a daily basis. He said it might be a month or two. It just might. This from ES Renee says, "I wonder where all those jive turkeys are hiding. Any of the alleged suspects' social media pop back up?" No, they're not in hiding. So I want to make that abundantly clear. They're not hiding. They're just not on social media. So I want to make sure we don't conflate the two, right? When you're not in contact with someone, it doesn't mean they're hiding and they're fleeing and they're on the run. None of the people who are part of the Kabul 5 are on the run. They just don't have social media at the time. So let's not conflate the two so we can keep the messaging clear. Because a lot of people have been sending me updates saying, oh my God, Dejanay fled. She did not flee. She did not flee. That report that came out from CNN was incredibly misleading, and they need to be mighty, mighty, mighty careful when they are talking about news, because all it's doing is just creating this fervor like they know anything, which they don't. This is from Mrs. Crosby. I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Is it Ezrika? Ezrika says, why do I think this happened where I live? His obituary is from our local funeral home. Oh, it could be. That's probably likely. That's probably likely. So yeah, so we're gonna keep you updated. And then I wanted to go over just a couple more because I get a bunch of stories on a daily basis. I want to go over a couple more of those other stories as well throughout the week, right? Because we got a whole week and we do have to get to other stories. And I'm kind of glad that we got a little bit of reciprocity with Vallen's story. So at least we know that there is an investigation and it is open. This from Jacqueline says, many people take a break from social media for a variety of reasons. If you were under suspicion of murder, I would. Then again, I would have ran. So it's just that simple. But you're absolutely right. Is it Jaquina? I hope I'm saying your name right, Jaquina. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This from YMV says, I wonder if the Cabo criminals are getting some of their stories straight. Well, they should be getting attorneys and forget their stories. Get yourself an attorney. Remember, there's no cash bail in Mexico. They pick you up for an extradition treaty, you're going straight to jail until trial. So I would have ran. This from Elise says, for Shanquilla, allegedly, they've said that they've got a warrant for extradition. They do. But I really want to know what happened to her because I truly feel like the whole story is suspicious. Also, I cannot believe what happened to Vallen. I just saw the video of his mom pop up, so I'm so glad that her son's case is open because she felt that it would be swept under the rug. Absolutely. Both yes and yes and yes. Yes, I agree with it. This is from Hello says, I hope they talk because this is so sad. And when trying to be that B goes wrong, now you got to on your hands because you was trying to be big dog. You're right. I would have ran. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they don't think. And the crazy part is they all graduated from a university. Y'all should have been taking political science because you should have known. You should have been. You should at least took a government 101, at least international relations at a 200 level, because you would have known that if you'd commit a crime overseas, honey, you need to book it. Why was they not booking it? That's the part I don't get. How was they not booking it? How was they not booking it? I'd have booked it. I'd have booked it. I'm sorry. I would have booked it. I don't care. I don't care. I would have ran. Argue with your mama on that one. Because I'd have dipped. I would have dipped out. I would have dipped out. Please. I know it's wrong, but sheesh. Ain't nobody trying to go to jail. This from Vinyl Hoochie says in the Cabo 5, they all need separate lawyers because they will all be tried for different charges. Absolutely. YV says the Cabo criminals don't get it. Deleting yourself from social media doesn't mean that you're off the grid. They can be tracked in many ways, IP address, banks, etc. No joke. I don't think they did it for that sense. I don't think they did it to get off the grid. I think they did it because they didn't want to just have crazy notifications. That's why I think they did it. They didn't do it in the sense of let me lay low and no one will find me. I think they did it in the sense of I don't want to get a whole bunch of DMs or threats or things of that nature. And good for them, right? Good for their mental health, I suppose. This from Elise says, if I were any of the Cabo 5, I would be trying to get the prosecutor in the US because jail conditions in Mexico are horrid. They don't get a choice. The only way you get a choice is if you run the nation where the crime was committed, right? So they don't run Mexico, so they can't pick and choose where they want to get prosecuted. You guys, it's not like that. Or they can get a U.S. attorney and have the attorney argue for jury selection, and if it's going to be a closed or open jury, or if they want to move the jury to another city because that city could be tainted. They don't get those rights in Mexico. So they definitely don't get the rights to determine which court of law is going to pick their trial setting. This case is national in the United States, so they just can't. Even if the U.S. were to take the case, which the United States does not want to, the United States is not in the business of doing stuff like that. You guys, this is a business. So they have a better shot at getting a fair trial in Mexico than they do in the United States because, one, it's not a national story in Mexico. Nobody even knows what's going on. You can look at their social media pages. When they posted that publication, right? No one even saw it. And it was from the official prosecutor's Facebook page, and no one even saw it. So for a fact it's not getting national attention there in Mexico. So they're better off having a fair trial there than they are here, in my opinion. I think they are, because no one knows them. No one knows them, and no one knows what's going on. Eugenia says, I know of an unsolved Latin girl. I would love for you to apply pressure to get our family justice. Yeah, send it over to me. Please do. And we'll go through the case. There's always a tipster out there somewhere. This Earth Skittle says, just because you go to college don't make you smart. It doesn't make you smart, but it doesn't make you smart, but it does help. It does help you have sense of other things, even if you don't apply them to your life, right? Even if you don't apply biology to your life, by taking biology, you at least know something, right? You're just like, yeah, I don't think that's where plants get their energy. I don't know a whole lot about biology, but I'm pretty sure plants synthesize their food. Even if you don't like biology and you failed it, it gives you something. Does that make sense? Something. Thank you for the super sticker, LaDonda. I appreciate that. This from Queen Nitha. Queen Nitha says, IKTR, I don't know what that means, says to Russia or to Philippines, I would go. I'm booking it. Honey, you got to ask me twice. Like, Steph, are we fleeing? Yeah. What country are we going to? That's the first thing I would have been asking after Shanquilla's body was taken to the morgue and then to the funeral home. Me as a criminal, right? I rebuke that in Jesus' name, but hypothesizing, it's just like, okay, what are we going to do now? Okay, we're fleeing to China. It's that simple. I want to ask questions. I would have just said, we're going to China. You don't want to come with me? Good luck. That's what I would have did, because I would have been that scary. Margaret says, we know exactly how the altercation video was released. No. And that, to me, that's also a mystery, right? Like, here's the two mysteries I have with Shanquilla Robinson's case. How did the fight start? And who released that fight video? Seriously, those are my only two questions. I could care less about anything else. I don't care about money. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about boyfriends telling weird stories. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about North Carolina beats being completely wildly inaccurate. I care about those two aspects. Who started that fight? Like, how did it start? And who released that tussle video? Those are my only two questions. And I know North Carolina Beats didn't, because he would have put his watermark on it. His watermark didn't get on it till after it was released, because he tried to make it as though he released it, but he didn't, because there are tons and tons of copies of it across the internet with no watermark. Somebody released it. I want to know who. People keep saying it's Elise. No, it's not. It was on Snapchat. It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone. I'm so interested in it. I'm so interested in who released it. Come forward, please. We just want to know. This from Vinyl Hoochie said, Chief, they couldn't run internationally because if our hypothesis is correct, they are broke. Where could you go and hide broke in Mexico? Oh, they're not flat broke. I don't think they're flat broke, you guys. They may not have a whole ton of money, but I think they could have finagled their way into getting a ticket to China, from Mexico to China. Finagle their way to do that. I don't know, but that's what I would have did. That's what I would have did. This from Unicorn Dipple says, argue with Cho Mama. Is that how I say it? Jasmine says, this really feels like an episode of How to Get Away with. except they didn't do it right at all. YMV says, "You're right, Chief. I said before we are giving them too much credit. I wouldn't been looking up my Caribbean cousins and latched some dreads to my head. Nature boy vibe. Come on, man. I'm booking it. Like I don't care, y'all. I don't care. You're like, Steph, that's so wrong. Okay, I know it is. But I'm saying I would have been dumb and afraid if it was like 15 years younger, right? If this was 15 years ago and I was a dumb young kid, I would have booked it. But now I'm like, I would never. You guys, I'm a pretty decent judge of character. I know who to hang around and who not to hang around. And I know I'm not a scary kid either. So when I see stuff pop off, I'm always gonna be like, what are y'all doing? I'm not the type of person to be like, sit around and like just allow bad stuff to happen. Like I call people out when I think they need to be called out in like dinner settings of that nature. I had dinner with friends a couple weeks ago, and one of my friends said something incredibly prejudiced, and I called him out on it. I was just like, "What does that even mean? Explain it to me. I don't get the joke. Explain it." He did such a poor job at explaining it, and I was like, "Maybe your type of thinking is not proper or appropriate because it doesn't make any sense." They had to call me off because I latched on to him because as soon as you say something crazy out of pocket, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. His wife turned around and did the same thing. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story of what she said. I'm not gonna tell you what he said because if I have people who know me who watch this episode, they're gonna know exactly who I'm referring to. Let me talk about his wife. So this is his second wife. I know this is just tea. Let me just give y'all some tea. So this is his second wife, and we were at dinner and we're just having cocktails. We weren't eating food, we're just having cocktails. And she looks across the room and she goes, "Oh, there goes some of my girlfriends." And she said, "Oh, some of my girlfriends," and she says to her husband, "saw your ex-wife with the kids," because they have two kids together, him and his first wife. And she's like, "Ha ha ha, my friends, my I use my friends to spy on your ex-wife and the kids." Immediately, I jumped in. I said, "Wow, that's incredibly inappropriate." You could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop. I said, and also I think it's fostering a really unhealthy environment for your children to have your current wife watching them, like in a sense of having other people watch her as she moves about her day throughout the city with her children. Pins dropped everywhere. I don't play that. I don't play that. I don't play that. I do not play that. Okay. What does Carisha say? I don't play like that. I do not play like that. Okay. You do something inappropriate. You say something inappropriate to me. I'm definitely saying something. Okay. Inappropriate behavior. You thought I would key with you because it was me and another woman at the table. The other woman at the table thought it was incredibly inappropriate too, but I'm the one who said something. And then her husband turned around and said something even more offensive, and I had to completely shut him down. Inappropriate. Inappropriate. And if you're asking what color skin she is, take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Okay. Take a wild guess at what color you think. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Crazy. So this is why I don't socialize as much as I mean I do. I take that back. I do. I go out quite often and I socialize. You guys just see me here and I always look like I rolled out of bed. It's because I always roll out of bed to do this show because when we're researching these shows, I don't have time to put on makeup and stuff and do all that extra stuff. I don't got time for that extra stuff. I just tell the news. But when we're out in public and you say something incredibly inappropriate to me, you better listen. You better tread lightly. And you better hope I didn't catch it. You better hope my head was turned this way, or I was looking down, or I was staring into the sky. You better hope I didn't catch it. Because if I caught it, I'm gonna catch you. Period. Just like, girl. She thought I don't understand the nature of it. Um, I don't understand the nature of it. I've never been like that. I could care less. And I'm not trying to sound mean like one of those people who hates children, but if I marry a guy and he has prior children, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna love your kids when they come over. I'm gonna feed them appropriate meals. I'm gonna hang out with them. I'm gonna kiki with your kids, but I don't care about your kids and what your baby mama or ex-wife does with them. When they're not in my home, I don't care. I know that sounds mean, and I know that sounds okay. I know it sounds mean, but it's like when they're under my roof and they are in my care, I love them. I will take care of them. I will fight for them. If they're not under my roof and they're not in my care and they didn't come from my loins, I don't care. Okay, it's that simple. So the fact that she was putting all that extra care in, it's like, girl, just give him a baby. And then I thought, I don't think she can have kids. And then I thought, she probably can, and he probably doesn't want any more. And she absolutely despises the woman who gave him the thing that she probably so desperately wants with him. Yep. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm not a clinical psychologist, nor do I pretend to be one, but it's like it's clear as day. That's why she was acting like that toward the wife, the first wife and the kids. Because first of all, why are you marrying somebody and you want kids? You know and you know he don't. Why would you marry him? Because you're desperate? Girl, and he would I wish y'all had seen the way. Okay, you know what? I ain't gonna go that far. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not even gonna go into what they look like because they both look like both two train wrecks who found each other. So tomorrow on our show, we're gonna go over some more news. Okay, we're gonna go over some more news, and hopefully we got another update. I'm sorry there's no updates on the Shanquilla Robinson case, but at any time, at any time, you can always check out here the prosecutor's page. Let me blow it up a little more. You can check out the prosecutor's Facebook page. You can also check out, and here I'll put here. You can also check out the State Department of Mexico. You can check out this page. It's always going to give you the most pertinent updates. They divide it into two sections: national news and state news. So each state or region, state, and Mexico will have their own news press. So you can check out both of them from this website. And in your spare time, you can also check out Interpol's website, the View Red Alert Notice. So anytime you are interested, you could check out any of these places. If you're looking for that warrant, all you do is just choose the nation where you're wanted at and hit search. Okay. If only 2 people show up, then Dejanay is not in there. So those are the 3 websites that you guys can check out. Here's the Interpol website, the prosecutor's website, and the state attorney's website, as well as the Attorney General's website of Mexico. So you can check out all 3 of those websites anytime that you want to, in case I'm asleep and there's an update. Okay, but that's all that I have for you guys today. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Actually, let me get to a couple more of your comments before I get going. Hold on, because I know the comments was going. This is from Just Boo. She says, I still don't understand how nobody intervened for Quilla. No clue, honey. This from Humble Positive says, now I will question her even more around my own kid. Child. Unicorn Dimple says, your current wife is ignorant. I would have said and just stared. I should have, but I want to be nice about it. I want to be nice about it. This from Vapey says, I agree with you, Steph. I would have broken camp. It's wrong, but I've already did wrong. So take it as far as I can go. Right. This from, oh, that's not for me. This is from Elise says she could have tried to justify it. And I'm 100% with you. It's like, that was my bonus kids. I do not care what they do with their mom. And I tell them to keep to themselves. I stay as far out of their business at any none of mine to worry about. Then when the kids are with me, I take care of them. No, I totally agree with that. Like, if the kids are not in my care, beat it. I don't care. Do I care about their safety? Yeah, but not now. When you're in my home, I care for you. I watch over you, protect you, I feed you, right? I hang out with you. I help you with your homework. But if you're not in my care, that's not my business. Okay? It's not my business. Okay? It's that simple. But I definitely checked her because I'm not with that. I'm not with that. That's toxic. So I'm not okay with that. And the part that really got me too at the last bit of that conversation, when the husband said that prejudice thing about Iranians, I really cut into him deep. And the fact that the other people at the table that we were having cocktails with didn't say anything. And you see why I don't believe in allies. I don't. I'm not giving you a sticker or a pat on the back because you said one time in your life that Black Lives Matter. If you are white and you have white people who say subliminal prejudice stuff and you don't check them on it, you are not an ally to me. And I'm not giving anybody the denotion of an ally. If you're an ally, be an ally and be okay with that. But if you just let people just slide with their prejudices, and when no Black people are around, you're just as bad as them. And the fact that it took a Black person to call him out on that is, to me, I found the most disturbing. So, but that is all that I have for you guys today. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. We'll be back tomorrow for the Nosy Bystanders, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can reach us on Instagram as well as Facebook and TikTok. Good night.